In Austin, I'm Mark Mullins. Austinites will soon vote on a controversial ballot item, Proposition Q, that would raise the city's property tax rate. If approved, the average homeowner would pay about $300 more per year in taxes compared to the 2024-2025 fiscal year. Several economic organizations and Austinites tell Malia Masamoto they're worried that this could have a major impact on the city's affordability.
Many people who've been in Austin for a while can agree on a few things.
Austin is becoming a city we don't recognize.
Cindy Davison has lived in her home here for 40 years, but with the tax rate election looming, she's got some concerns.
I'd like to, be able to know that we can stay in our home and have affordability.
This November, she and other voters will decide on Prop Q, which would raise the property tax rate by 5 cents per $100 of a home's value. That's a 20% increase compared to the tax rate for the 2024-25 fiscal year. City leaders say the increase would help fund essential city services like reducing homelessness and public health services and safety. Earlier this week, first responders and other advocates rallied for Prop Q because they say it'll make up for federal funding cuts.
We need to come together on this. Essential services are on the chopping block. Let's save them now.
But others worry if the money will actually go toward what the city says it'll be for.
If they didn't do what they said they were going to do with the last 20% increase, why would we give them another 20% increase without accountability?
Prop Q is also ringing alarm bells for economic leaders like Ed Latson, the CEO of Opportunity Austin.
For every $1,000 of cost that's added to the average citizen's plate, it pushes out 750 people from the region. So it's really important that we pay attention to what's driving up their cost of living.
And it's not just homeowners that will be affected. Latson said if landlords have to deal with higher property tax bills, renters could see rising costs too.
We think this is contrary to something that's going to really facilitate economic growth and success in the region.
For many, they just want to keep Austin the affordable city they once knew.
It's a great time for us to fight for the issues that we think are important in order to keep Austin, Austin.
And that was Malia Masamoto reporting. This comes as the city passed a $6.3 billion budget while they're dealing with a $33.4 million deficit. Also important to note, while the language on the ballot refers to the 2025-26 budget, Prop Q is not just a one-year increase. It would allow the tax rate to continue at that level in the future, too. Amid the ongoing fighting and humanitarian crisis in Gaza, the Israeli Navy has now intercepted a number of boats that were trying to break its blockade. An Austinite was on one of those boats. We told you last month Greg Stoker was aboard a vessel in the Global Samud Flotilla. Online, the organizer said their goal was to break the Israeli siege and sail humanitarian aid to Palestinians. Wednesday, the Israeli military stopped most of those boats.
This is surreal.
I cannot believe my eyes. I don't even understand what's happening.
That's video Stoker posted on social media Wednesday showing Israeli forces approaching their vessel. People on other boats also captured video of their encounters with Israeli boats. The flotilla says it is trying to deliver aid to Gazans who desperately need it. Israeli officials have said they're preventing Hamas from potentially importing weapons. Online, the Global Samud Flotilla lists the boat Stoker was on as assumed intercepted. As of Thursday, Stoker has not posted on social media since about 7 o'clock Central Time Wednesday night. Austin Congressman Lloyd Doggett posted about the flotilla and Stoker, writing in part, quote, Israeli authorities must ensure their safety as these humanitarians seek to help the sick and starving. A Cedar Park couple is frustrated after they say a crew installing fiber lines in their neighborhood damaged their car and messed up their yard. They tried to get the company responsible to pay for the damage, but they've hit a wall and called investigative reporter Jenny Lee.
Kirby Dunnigan says he was on a road trip with his wife in early August. When they got home, they found their Toyota Corolla with damage to the bumper and front headlight. Dunnigan says the puncture in the bumper stood out to him.
That went through the bumper and kind of dragged along the headlight. Went and looked for where they had parked their equipment to see if I could find anything that would line up with that damage.
Dunnigan says he did. While they were out of town, Dunnigan remembers his mother stopping by to check on the house and being asked by a crew member to move his daughter's street parked car. So the Dunnigans asked their neighbors, did they see workers in their yard while they were away?
They were all saying, yeah, they were in your yard plenty the week we were gone.
So the Dunnigans reached out to AT&T and the subcontractor. Kirby Dunnigan says both companies denied his claim, citing lack of evidence. Dunnigan says while he didn't capture the actual damage as it was happening, he believes ultimately AT&T is responsible.
I think it's just the right thing to do is kind of especially something of this caliber.
The estimate to fix the damage is around $3,000. Dunnigan says that is more than his car is worth. He says AT&T did agree to pay for the headlight after the KVUE Defenders intervened. Now, KVUE also reached out to the company installing fiber lines, Dimbo Company, Inc. Its director of safety says they did not cause the damage. AT&T is still reviewing this matter. Kirby Dunnigan also says he knows his car has prior damage and is not asking AT&T to fix that, just the puncture in the bumper. So what do you do if you experience issues during fiber installation? Well, we have numbers on how to contact AT&T, G-Fiber, formerly Google Fiber, and Spectrum. Those numbers and statements from the companies are on KVUE.com. And we will continue to follow Dunnigan's case and let you know what happens. For the KVUE Defenders, I'm Jenny Lee.
A military initiative that's called Austin Home for 7 years is overhauling how it operates. The U.S. Army hosted an event to deactivate the Army Futures Command. It launched in Austin in 2018 to work with the tech and academic sectors and modernize the military. Now it's being combined with the Training and Doctrine Command to create the Transformation and Training Command, or T2COM for short. Army leaders say this will combine their work in tech and research with recruiting and training so soldiers can get on board with new technology and processes faster.
I think it's a marriage made in heaven in terms of putting it all together to become more efficient. And frankly, as we stated earlier, now we've become even that much faster because now we're not having to work through different commands to figure stuff out.
Army leaders say as part of this change, they'll restructure existing programs, which could bring more personnel to the Austin area. Texas students are getting the opportunity to step inside the future of education. The nonprofit Learning Undefeated has rolled out 9 mobile STEM labs, complete with chairs and tables for students, materials and equipment for lessons, plus full electrical HVAC capabilities. Students at Palmer Lane Elementary School in Pflugerville ISD got to experience the mobile labs this week. These labs travel to 270 elementary and middle schools across the state.
So the best part of the Texas Mobile STEM Lab is that it's mobile, so it can be taken to a bunch of different schools. We have 9 labs that are going all across every region of Texas, which is so great to reach as many students as possible.
Kindergartners at Palmer Lane had a lesson inspired by the 3 little pigs building houses strong enough to withstand a high-powered fan. Older kids got to learn how to make bottle rocket trucks. Those are the headlines in Austin. I'm Mark Mullins.